Today there is endless talk about clean energy, which makes it sound like clean energy alone is the solution to our environmental problems. But that is not the case. Clean energy is only a portion of needed environmental change. And thing is, a November 2011 International Energy Agency report states we have just 5 years to avoid being trapped in a scenario of perilous climate change and extreme weather events. The reality of clean energy is at least a decade in the future, but ending our disposable society from individual cooperation is achievable immediately and commercially shortly thereafter. Clean energy is energy that is manufactured without producing negative consequences like pollutants, greenhouse gas emissions, or nuclear waste. Clean energy is solar, wind, geothermal, and hydropower. The processes that manufactures their energy doesn't emit greenhouse gases, and neither does their delivery to the manufacturing site. You can't say that about fossil fuels because they are delivered in greenhouse gas and pollution emitting transportation. Clean energy provides about 7% of global energy needs. Hydroelectricity provides the most clean energy, generating enough power to meet about 6% of global energy needs. The other 1% is met from clean geothermal, solar, tide, and wind. So there is huge room for growth here, which today is talked about way more than it's getting implemented, which means today about 85% of global energy is met by unclean fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas, and 8% from nuclear. Clean energy is a definite global need, but the reality of clean energy being common, then the predominant global power source, then the only power source, is at least a decade or more in the future. Thing is, we don't have time for this. Every global environmental report states things are getting worse even faster than expected, that we need immediate drastic improvement, well before clean energy will ever be a significant energy provider. Clean energy is only part of the needed environmental solution. Although today clean energy is the only talked about environmental solution and the only thing the White House has an agenda for, more important things like gaining individual cooperation so we end our disposable society, which will produce light years more results, light years faster than clean energy ever will or can. Yet these aren't even addressed, and when presented to the White House begging for this to get to Barack so he can dial the environmental 911 call the world needs, but Stephen Chu and the rest of Barack's not environmental staff won't allow, Stephen Chu threatens to prosecute you to the fullest extent of federal law for trying to prevent the global devastation not achieving these will create. Although the electric grid being powered by clean energy is a decade or more away, there is plenty of clean energy we can all use today. Wind and solar can dry your clothes, and we need to start doing that again, because when we hung clothes to dry, we didn't have environmental problems. Turn off electric lights and use sunlight for indoor light during the day, and to help heat your home in the winter. In the summer, don't use air conditioning, open your windows and let the wind blow air in. The environmental future needs clean energy powering the planet, but when clean energy will power the planet is a question. But one thing we do know for sure is it is a decade or more away. But to help get this going faster, the White House should reinstall the solar panels Jimmy Carter put up but Ronald Reagan took down. But the biggest thing here is, according to the experts, time is running out for us to prevent devastating global changes, so reduce your use of energy until we get clean energy.